In 5G, we are not talking only about devices, that is like mobile device or smartphones. We are talking about any gadgets, or whatever the gadgets you can imagine in the world around you. So everything comes under this. For example, the 5G technology, 5G network, it helps, it can reach to stadiums, theaters, safe vehicles, smart meters, small business, hospitals at the same time. With everyone is hearing about this concept and technology. So these are the trends, and these are actually future, right? The currently. So yes, these are part of 5G and the technology. Okay, so all are interrelated. They are not, individual. Like if 5G is not there, then AI will not be there, or if AI is there, then they can work on 3G. No, it is not like that. In telecommunication, it's a very different world. So 5G testing not only is about testing the speed or testing the latency or testing the coverage. No, it is beyond that. Performance checks, I have already told you. Robotic automation, RPA, okay, usability testing, security testing, interoperability testings, protocol testing, functional testing. So these are like major testing that we do in the IT side, 5G elements, okay. So we have three phases where we define or we prove our testing capability. The benchmarking is done, and then we go to the next level. These are business processing system. So telecom service company or telecom industry cannot work without BSS and OSS.
Hi everyone. So we've started the next session, which is on 5G testing. Really unique and important topic to cover. So this next session is on 5G test in a short. Next big thing by Pooja Tyagii, principal consultant at NTT Data Services. If I talk a little bit about Pooja, Pooja is a dynamic leader of application testing teams, offering 16 plus years of IT experience in managing high revenue, mission critical testing projects, overseeing team projects, application, and testing activities. She's having core experience of 6 years in telco domain involving 5G areas and its testing. So today she will be talking about one such topic, and she will cover her experience, the experience of all those years that she has taken from testing in 5G. And I would love to call her up on the stage to start her session. Hi Pooja,
Hi, Vanshika. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me on board, Vanshika.
thank you so much for doing this.
Okay, so I'll try to share my screen. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. So I know everyone has joined from different locations. So today it's a unique topic, but yeah, it's a fancy topic, 5G, which we hear a lot of around us these days. So thank you, Test Drive, for having me here and allowing me to speak on this wide topic. I'll try to cover as much as can, but because it's a time limitation, so let's see how much we can learn today. Okay, before I initiate or start my session, I'll just wanted to give a quick introduction. Anyways, Vanshika has already shared. So I have 17 years of experience in IT industry. So major skill set is testing. Major domain for me is a telecom. And out of professional, I'm a blogger as well, writer, podcaster, and fitness influencer as well. Okay, so everyone I think looks in having an enthuse to understand and learn about the 5G. Okay, so what I'll be covering today is mainly on the 5G. What exactly is 5G? Okay, before and after 5G, so that we should know why we are having 5G, what has happened, why we are going into next generation, benefits of it, trends that is happening in telecommunication, which we will understand as a testers. Okay, these are the trends that is in the market, and which area we need to pick up and learn more. Okay, then we enter into 5G testing and glimpse of 6G. Okay, so coming to uh, understanding of what exactly is 5G technology. So I think we all are currently into generation called Generation Z, right? So in telecommunication, we have the generations whenever there is a years of gap, and we go with the advancement of the technology. So till now we heard about 4G, 4G LTE, but now you are hearing about 5G. So 5G is a fifth generation of wireless network telecommunication. So Mainly the purpose of 5G or bringing up that kind of supply to the customers is to give a faster download upload speeds, allowing more devices to connect at the same time. So this is a main element why we are having 5G. Okay. Now, let's see before 5G and after 5G, or I would say with 5G, what difference we see. Okay. These are the three basic difference that we can feel. Okay. So with 4G or I would say 3G and 4G, have you seen that you got a superb connectivity for mobile devices? You had the relatively fast internet speed when you were having upgrade from 3G to 4G, and also that 4,000 devices were supported per square kilometer. Okay, but with 5G it is again a massive difference. Okay, with 4G and 5G, if you compare, so when you start feeling the 5G, you will feel the difference. So first is superior connectivity designed for more types of devices aside from smartphones. So in 5G we are not talking only about devices that is like mobile device or smartphones. We are talking about any gadgets or whatever the gadgets you can imagine in the world around you. So everything comes under this, and everything we are trying to connect with 5G. Okay, expected download speeds of over 10 gigabytes. So can you see the difference? Earlier it was only till 100 mbps, now we are going 1,000 times ahead with the preceding technologies. And then up to 1 million devices we can this can support per square kilometer. So it's a massive difference between 4G and the 5G technology. So this is a basic difference that we can feel and understand. Okay. So before we jump into any technology to understand or any kind of advancement, we should always know about the history from where we are evolving. Okay. So this is just a glimpse to give you all that we started with 1980s when we started with analog cell and incoming kind of solution to at least people can start talking each other. Then we entered 2G, which is 90s era, where we had the SMS and voice feature, which was added. And then in 3G, which is 2000, millennium era, so where the internet was booming, and we started browsing the internet using the browsers. Okay, so IE browsers, Safari browsers. And then in 2010s, that is like just a decade. So LTE, which is 4G, 4G LTE started offering a smarter feature, and with device, with mobile in your hand, you were able to do a lot of things. Not only internet, not only talking to each other, but apps development, apps deployment, and a lot of things. Okay, camera features. So this is how we have evolved. But with 5G, it is beyond our imagination. We can do lot things that we cannot even think of today. Okay, so we'll learn about this. uh, yeah, so this is a pictorial diagram just to give you a background how exactly a telecommunication world. I am specifically countering on the 5G here. Okay, so we have three layers actually. We do have core network as the first, where we talk about the generation of what kind of technology it is, which talks to the radio access network, where you can see the end, the towers. When you roam around yourself, you can see towers deployed. So okay, those RANs are there, and then you have gadgets with which you are using your mobile internet or whatever. Okay, but in 5G, if you see the third layer, which is user equipment, it is not only talking about the devices. Okay, it is talking about the smart concept. It's talking about virtual reality, augmented reality. It is talking about the smart farms. Okay, so we are talking about a huge concept, which is not limited only till the mobile phones or only till the Wi-Fi or having social media network. No, we are talking about a huge concept here, smart concept. So this is just to give you the idea how the layers of telecommunication looks like, and 5G is evolving where. Okay. Now let's understand the benefits of this 5G technology. Why 5G? What it will give to me and you and the business. Okay. We were happy with 4G. We were having good browsing speed and downloading speed. We were happy. What exactly it is giving to us? Okay, so let's see what 5G can give us, at least at a personal level as well as the corporate or organizational level. So if you see in the blue one, I have given an example. Today I can download the 8K movie just in span of decimals. I mean, not even 1 second, less than that. So it is a 500% faster than 4G LTE. Earlier, you used to wait for 2 minutes, 30 seconds, something like that to download even a video. But today, if you see with the 5G, it is just a fraction, or I would say in the decimals, it just happens. This is one of the example. And then we come to like benefits. What are the major benefits that we can see from 5G technology? So improved services, mainly in the gaming, cloud areas, having more augmented reality features. It helps in cloud services. So I think if somebody is gamer here, okay, if they are using your mobile phone for gaming, you will see lot of difference when you use a 4G device, 4G network, and the 5G device in 5G network. You will see lot of difference. So that's a better experiences, okay, improved services. Now next is efficient energy consumption. I think everyone is aware about, the hot topic called EV. That's the vehicles that we are talking about, electronic vehicles, right? Electric vehicles, electronic vehicles. So why those? Because we are planning to reduce the energy consumption. We should doing the conservations. So till now we were not doing it. Why? Because we were in the 4G 4G LTE world and it was not supporting that. But with 5G, we have this feature we can do, and that's where you can see a lot of gadgets are coming which saves the energy, like your TV and everything. It always is reducing the energy consumptions. Okay. Next is remote healthcare. Now, this is very kind of favorite area of mine where 5G is really evolving, and we need this space, the 5G to be deployed and working, at a faster rate. Why? In medical area or in a health area, remote healthcare. Okay, so you can take an example of India as a country. It's a populated country. We have a lot of remote places where reaching to a particular patient is very difficult, or patient reaching to the hospital is difficult. But with 5G technology or 5G network, remote accessing the patient's vital cares, surgery, everything is possible. Okay, and recent cases, there are successful cases where the doctors have done smart surgeries using the 5G network. So this 5G technology is in their devices, the devices that use medical teams use. So they have upgraded their devices for the remote healthcare. Next is increased productivity. This is mainly for businesses where they try to migrate their data from old database to new, or the old server to new. Earlier it was like a fortnightly logics going on, or maybe they need a 72 hours to run that logics to migrate the data. But now it is done in a minutes, due to the help of the 5G technology. So this is a main areas. There are other many areas where we can see the benefits of 5G, but this is something which you can relate to yourself as well. Okay. So I'll again coming to pictorial diagrams. If you see from one antenna or one tower, if you see the signals are coming around, right? There are two towers and one towers. So only with that station you can see how much spread of network is there and the usage of it. Earlier it was just one to one, but now with one station, we can fetch the services and we can use it for multiple purpose. For example, the 5G technology, 5G network, it can reach to stadiums, theaters, safe vehicles, smart meters, small business, hospitals at the same time with the just one kind of setup. Okay, so that's where the infra is very strong and it has a wider accessibility. Okay, so just to tell you that how this 5G is looking like. Okay, now, now coming to continuation of the earlier pictorial diagram, now you have got a glimpse like, okay, 5G is so much, it's not only till the mobile device, we can do a lot just with the one base station. So trends of 5G and the future of telecommunication. I have joined few of the sessions today and really wonderful sessions. I also got some idea and learnings like AI, machine learnings and all. I think everyone is hearing about this concept and technology. So these are the trends and these are actually future, right? The currently. So yes, these are part of 5G and the technology. Okay. So all are interrelated. They are not, individual. Like if 5G is not there, then AI will not be there. Or if AI is there, then they can work on 3G. No, it is not like that. Everything is interrelated. So I'll not go in deep, but I'll just give you briefly why Internet of Things. Okay, IoT, where we use IoT. So if you have heard about smart home concept or smart a switch concept, smart meter concept. So these days we see the smart home concept, right? So with one click, everything gets turned on, everything, Alexa talks it, and that, what is that? That's all IoT. So devices talking to each other over the internet. So that's called IoT. Okay, and that's because of this higher network or advanced technology that we are getting is the 5G. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. So AI again is simulation of human intelligence. So that's like, take an example of robots. Okay, so that's where they use the AI concept. Machine learning, again, it's a part of AI, but where we can predict and analyze quickly. Okay, it's like data. For example, if test tribe as a company wants to predict how many in future, in next 6 months, how many testers or this community will grow, like how many users can join or will be joining, that analysis and predictions can be done by machine learning, but it's a part of AI. Okay, intelligent automation, so it's a combination of AI and RPA. So it gives empowerment to empower the digital transformation. That's where we use the intelligent automation, and it's a part of AI, and it comes under RPA concept. So we use in our software testing as well as the hardware area. So it is nothing only related to software, but this is where we use in all every aspect of wherever the product release is happening. DevOps, it's a combination of development and operations. So to give a efficient running of automation happening faster, than faster software. So we always say that go with DevOps because if you need faster software, but these all cannot work without 5G. Okay, so that you need to have a broad spectrum to really work on this. Okay, if you are thinking that we just need Wi-Fi and 4G, no, it will not. So I've given one example at the below. So with 5G, you can access the nearby cloud services sitting at home. Just you can do a multiplayer gaming, okay, cloud gaming. I think everyone is aware that how gaming department is really booming. You can do shop in reality, so you don't need to even enter or go in real to the malls. You can just open the app and you can enter to the kind of shop that's like virtual, but it's a reality. Okay, so this is all is happening because of 5G. Okay. So next, the main topic of the today is 5G testing. So we are entering into the testing world. So in telecommunication, it's a very different domain. Okay, different from banking, different from any other domains. Okay, we more often see database, software, front end, back end, but in telecommunication, it's a very different world. So 5G testing not only is about testing the speed or testing the latency or testing the coverage. No, it is beyond that. Okay, and end-to-end 5G test solutions are really playing a vital role in deployment and development and operational excellence of 5G networks. So whoever is into testing and into 5G space, they are really helping the world to move faster or connect easily. Okay, so this is the importance of having part of 5G testing. Now, as I said, like telecommunication or telecom world is totally different. We always divide this into two sections: networks and IT systems. Okay, networks is where you it's like a more on hardware kind of, or the infra readiness. IT systems is the infra readiness but with the software. Okay, or I would say the systems that integrate with the networks. So here in telecommunication, if you know about the fiber cables, the optic fibers, right, the cell sites and the base stations, antennas, routers, etc. Okay, spectrum, satellite, everything comes under networks. Until unless they are there, until unless we have the standards and parameters of networks, we cannot have IT, or we cannot even see the device ready for the any 5G checks. Okay, so these all talk hand in hand, but telecommunication is already divided into two areas. So now the below areas which I have come up with, these are the areas where we do 5G testing, mainly for 5G technology and 5G networks. These are the few main areas, but there are other areas also which I have not included because in 30 minutes session I cannot bring everything. So fiber network elements, CRAN. Okay, CRAN is a cloud radio access network. Cell sites. Okay, transport is a transmission checks. 5G NR. So 5G is basically the new radio, I mean network access, which is defined by 3GPP organization. So for 5G, we do need 5G NR, and this is being defined by 3GPP organization. Okay, so it's a kind of access technology. Without this, 5G is nothing. Okay, it just works as a 4G. Now, massive MIMO checks is like multiple input, multiple output. Till now, we were having SIMO, like, single input and single output. Okay, CISO, sorry, not SIMO, CISO. So by one antenna, you will have one input and one output. That's it. One input and to the one device. But with MIMO, we can have multiple inputs from multiple areas, and we can also, divide that to the multiple devices. That's where the smart concept comes into picture. Okay, so with just one signal, you can operate a lot of devices. You can think in that way, just in a layman. Okay, 5G device testing. So definitely device has to be 5G. That's why it can be configured on the 5G technology. If you're using just a 3G 4G phones and you want a 5G network, it will not, because the configurations, the device model, the type, and complete device product has to be built on. So these days you see a lot of 5G devices are coming up. They are getting tested, they are getting built, because the 5G technology is the future. Okay, IT systems and software testing. So in general, software testing, that we understand, there is no difference in that. The application testing and everything that will do, the web testing, database testing, everything. So all the IT systems which are involved in 5G element, we do testing of that, and then involved are all the software testing layers. Lab and performance testing. So definitely performance is the very key area in telecommunication. Starting from the uh, buying the spectrum till the device is in hand of the user. Every moment we have to do performance check. Okay, because it is not like, okay, we will just do device performance testing and it's done. No, we have to see how that, for example, the cell site can take a load of million of customers, how much frequency it can radiate at per second, something like that. Okay, so those kind of performance checks is required. Wireless 5G device test platform. So these days we do have mobile wireless 5G device test platform. So if you know that there are labs which are set up, in the companies, in these organizations, they have proper labs. But there are some kind of cases where they have to go out and do the checks. Okay, maybe in the base stations, maybe in the network side, field side. But they have set up a kind of wireless, they can carry that kit along with them, and they can perform the test there on the field. Okay, and they can connect to the IT systems as well. So this is how the even organizations are evolving just to have the 5G testing in place. Okay, now, in continuation, we will see what are the various test tools and types for 5G verification and validation. Again, it is divided into networks and IT, but we will see what are the various tools that we use in telecommunication mainly for 5G, and what are types of testing we do. Okay, I have only covered the major areas so that we are relating to it. So first is app-based, SaaS-based drive testing, measuring system. Okay, to measure the frequency, measure the latency, and those kind of things. Okay, so it is again app based, SaaS based. Earlier we used to do with kind of hardware device, or manual kind of, but now everything is moving to app, but it has to connect it on the 5G platform so that we can do measurings. Okay, test labs, simulation based. So as I said, that we can simulate on the whatever is on the field, we have simulated inside the organization or inside the building, just to simulate. And we can do checks, everything like radio signals, radio frequencies, switches, routers, how they work, and connect with the devices. Everything we can do inside the lab. No need to do manually and go out in the field and do all those stuff. So these days we have the simulation based labs to do the 5G testing. CRAN based, again, cloud based radio access, because 5G talks with the centralized access network. Okay, so it has a centralized, that's why you can see a lot of devices can interact. So like we like a centralized AC, right? In a room, if we have centralized AC, it will give you the air everywhere, it will give you the cooling everywhere. Similarly, it is a centralized access network. Satellite communication checks. Okay, interference testing. So 5G is all about giving you quick response and quick deployments. Okay, it is like in a fraction of seconds. Even if you're downloading any movie, it should be immediate. If you have the interference of anything and it is not directly coming to your device and directly not connected to your device, then there's an interference problem. That means the interference checks was not done properly. Okay, for these we do beam forming kind of process technique, signal and spectrum checks, IoT design and test, because if some companies are involved into smart concept, so they have to go with the IoT design and checks. Military and aviation based, so it is very simple and straightforward. So all the rockets and if you see aviations, everything is moving to higher technology and they want to be connected remotely, okay, so that they can operate. So COVID-19 is the best example where we have evolved a lot in these spaces. Speed, coverage, software testing, device and configuration checks. Okay, so you have the we have the devices. Company has come up with device, but that should be compatible and configured according to the 5G protocols and parameters. So that checks has to be done. Then only we can launch the device and market, right? Performance checks, I have already told you. Robotic automation, RPA, okay, usability testing, security testing, interoperability testings, protocol testing, functional testing. So these are like major testing that we do in the IT side as well as in the network side. Okay. So let's talk about phases of testing capabilities. So this talks mainly on the 5G elements. Okay, so we have three phases where we define or we prove our testing capabilities. Okay, so first is verification validation. So ideally, once the infra is ready, or we need the infra to at least do our testing. So when I say infra, it could be a 5G test lab, it could be a 5G field validation. Okay, so you just can't go on the field and stand in below the antenna and check. No, you need that infra, you need that parameters to be set. So what we do here, we generally check for network virtualization, network performance, baselining and benchmarking. Okay, if this is the frequency, this is a radiation, this is a kind of hertz or latency or something, we do a benchmarking. Okay, and then we do optimization of it. Network automation, so all these are done in the verification validation, so that the benchmarking is done and then we go to the next level. So next level is deployment and activation. Once the infra is ready, once the labs are ready, and we know that okay, these are the parameters at all set, now we come with our 5G test tools or platforms and we integrate with it. Okay, and why we do, because to do performance monitoring, to do fiber checks, radio testing, okay, the compliance testing, all these kind of main area are focused when the infra is ready for us, and our test tools are integrated with it. So we are doing activation of tools and activation of 5G testing here. Okay, and activation of the parameters that was set in the first phase. Now, third is assurance and optimization. So this is very common, general to all the testing methodology. So even in other domains, when we do follow the IT V model, waterfall model, anything, when we follow the STL cycle, the test life cycle, right? So there is a last called assurance. We need to assure whatever we are testing, it is based on the requirements. Okay, it is based on the parameters, based on the checklist, right? So what we do for this, we do usability testing, we do user acceptance testing, we do customer testing, right? All those kind of testing we do. We also checks then the device testing. Okay, device is configured, like, but still we need to check whether device is really performing well with the 5G network or not. So those kind of acceptance. So you can just understand in a layman that acceptance of the requirements, or the setups that has been done for the 5G in particular area, whether it is assured to release into the market or not. And then we go for the optimization. So it's like operation handling, optimizing it. If we want to tweak it based on the, suppose we are in the remote location, we are setting our infra there. So based on that, we do the optimization. So that's a generic to all the testing life cycle that we follow. Okay. Now I was talking about the IT area, right? So this is something, the IT area. Any telecom service provider or any telecom service company will not work without these two elements. Okay, these are the support systems. These are business processing system. So telecom service company or telecom industry cannot work without BSS and OSS. Now, what is BSS and OSS? So BSS is business support system, and OSS is excuse me, sorry. So what happens in BSS? Okay, so I'll give an example. So if you're from India or anywhere in the country, we order the phone, we order our SIM. Okay. So what is that? That's a order management, right? You either use the online platform, or you use your app, or you call to the customer agent, or you visit the retail shop. Okay. You visit the retail shop. Okay. So that's where the order processing. Okay. You're selecting a package, you're selecting a device, and then what customer does? I mean, the agent does, he fills that form, or it gets automatically filled, whatever you're filling on the online, that goes to order management. So there it all starts. Then the billing is raised, the invoice is raised for your device, right? So that happens on the business model, right? Then product catalog, if you're choosing any product catalog, okay, I want this phone with this sim or eSIM or physical sim, that kind of thing, and what plan you need, whether you need postpaid, prepaid, those kind of stuff. Now there is a back office entry as well, like back office environment. So it is all hardware and software, kind of combination. So where the inventory comes into picture, design, the radio, routers, switches, then connectivity with the spectrum, connectivity with the field, connectivity with the antenna and the base station. That all is done when BSS and OSS are talking to each other. So this is something I don't want to go into the deep, because it's a really another world of IT system in telecom. So you can understand that you starting from ordering your phone or ordering your SIMs, it goes till even till the back entry, which is connecting to the your antenna and radio stations. Okay, so all that flow, okay, that is where the network and IT are integrated. So this is how we do the testing. Okay, now let's come to the next world. So I hope so far the 5G is bit, you can relate, okay, this is happening around me. But now we are also hearing about 6G. Yes, in India, we just had the 5G, we are having still 5G, it is still not fully launched. And 5G is launched only in the 60 countries so far. We are still waiting for other other countries to take the 5G, and they are also making their infra up. But 6G is something we should not get hyped about it. It is still under research. It is still under, in the parameters freezing. Okay, parameters freezing. So if you see here, the what CNBC March 2023 article says, you should not hype it. We are still doing the research. Okay, let the telecom providers and telecom industry don't hype. Now the only difference which so far we know is that data rate will be till 1 terabyte. Okay, there will be more reliability. The error rate will go till zero, not zero, but it will touch zero. Okay, latency will further reduce. You will find a nil latency. Okay, like 100 nanoseconds. It will go till even less than that. Okay, the precision rate will be very fine. So, and it will talk into 3 dimensions. Till now we have 2 dimension, but 6G will talk into 3 dimensions. This is what the 6G world is looking like, but it will come in 2030. Okay, now what Bill Gates are saying, so this is something, I'm coming to the end of my session. So what Bill Gates says, the advance of technology is based on making it fit so that you don't really even notice it, so it's a part of everyday life. Now any technology, whichever it is getting into a upper layer, okay, it should be like that. It should be only successful when it becomes your part of life. For example, yesterday I was using 4G, today I'm using 5G, and I should not feel that gap. Oh god, I have to do this for 5G, like that stress should not come out. But with 5G I can feel that, oh wow, I can do something more with my internet, I can do something more with my gadgets. So this is where it is coming and fitting into my lifestyle. So this is what Bill Gates is saying, and he always say to bring or develop your technology or come up with the upgrade level only when it fits into the lifestyle. So we are in the end of the session, and for any questions, you can reach out to my LinkedIn profile, and you can connect me there. And that's all for the
Thank you
day.
so much, Pooja. That was a great session. Learned something new about a new topic. We have few questions that we can take up. The first
Okay.
question that has the most votes is the minimum speed of 5G standardized with minimum X speed in US? And if it goes below the minimum speed, is the carrier fine? I need to check this for testing just to ensure enough bandwidth is assured. And if it's low, need to give alert.
Okay. So yes. all the countries around the globe, the telecommunication industry follows some standard protocols and parameters. It is not what US follows and what India follows. We have to follow one guidelines. So like for the speed you have asked, yes, any carrier, if they are going below or above or they are not following the protocols, they can be fined. So they have to follow the 3GPP standards, which is a GSMA standards, GPRS standards, all those kind of standards.
Understood. So the next question we have is, do 5G technology is a threat to cloud computing since 5G uses extensively the edge computing?
See, there any product or any thing on this earth has pros and cons. Okay, so even 5G do have cons because 5G is still evolving. Okay, we cannot say threat, but we have to see how it will make a limitation there. We cannot say threat because if we say threat to cloud computing, then we can say threat to anything else, right? Even the data, if I'm migrating data from server to server, that can also become a threat. So we can take like, okay, we need to see for a couple of years how 5G evolves. They are going betterment on the security, which is kind of limitation right now because currently they are using 3G, 4G areas and security. But as you know, it evolves and 6G comes into picture, I think threat will go down, but limitation will be there.
Understood. Understood. One last question that we'll take here is, will it be feasible to test 5G technology through device farming, such as AWS device farm, browser stack, etc.?
So when you are asking about 5G technology with the device farm, we cannot test everything using device farm. Device farm is again a mobile setup, okay, mobile setup to have a remote kind of testing. So ideally, you can test software applications or which connects to the network through the software. But everything, if whatever I have shown today, right, telecom is a huge world. We cannot test everything using device farm. But device farm is a very good solution which has evolved during the COVID-19, which I'm aware of.
Understood. I think we can answer the other questions later on after the session. Thank you
Yeah, they
so
can reach
much.
out to me, LinkedIn.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you
sure.
all for having me. Thanks, Manshika.
Thank you so much, Pooja, for doing this. It was a very interesting topic, and I remember when we start to discuss the points, it looked really interesting then also, and then now you delivered it really well. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for that. So do stay tuned, and we will be connecting again. Bye.
Bye, everyone.